you for or against the death penalty?
There again, that's a very touchy subject, and it's a subject that you got at so many different levels that you got to look at. You got to, I mean not to. I don't mean to be on the fence on this, but there again, when you're dealing with the death penalty, you're talking that someone that committed a heinous crime against society, you know, in all likelihood perpetrated something against a victim. So you got to look at a lot of different things. A lot of factors come into play. So yet, certain situations, and I would take it on a case-by-case basis. If it's nice now knowing that you have DNA evidence that's available to us, is another way to ensure that the justice system is being done properly. And what I mean by that is that when I investigate a case, before I pursue criminal charges against somebody, I, in my own mind, not only do the facts have to support a particular charge, but myself, in my own mind, I got to feel good, or I got to feel definitely sure that this is, in fact, the person who committed this crime. Now, when you're talking about terminating someone's life as a result of committing a crime, I mean, that takes it to another level, because now you have to take everything into account. Okay, what were the causes, and what, and like I said, there again, we got to go back to a case-by-case basis. What was it that caused this individual to commit this heinous crime against public or the society? So I think when you look at it and you take all those into account, and if you have the DNA evidence coupled with all the facts that are pointing and are clear cut that this is the individual that's responsible for committing this heinous act, I think at that point, then I'm in favor of the death penalty when it comes to that. But like I said, it's one of those things that I would take it by a case-by-case basis, and I'd ensure that all the...
Well, like, what crimes do you feel are justified for the death penalty?
In my opinion, there again, I think case-by-case basis, but, you know, it'd be, you know, first-degree murder.
First-degree, what about second-degree, third-degree?
Well, there again, when you come into the different degrees of murder, then you're talking about different levels of intent. You know, you're talking about where you're talking about maybe like a second-degree murder or a manslaughter and things like that. Heat of the moment. Was it something that was done as a result of the suspect being not given able time to think about what his choices are and just acting upon what was right then and there, and then ultimately took someone's life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm more along the lines of, you know, you're looking at something where it's premeditated, where that person has the moment of more than several moments to think about what they're doing, and they're actually seeking out this individual, lying.
Do you think all 50 states should have the death penalty or no?
I would be personally, I think it would be, in my mind, I know each state is independent of one another as far as when it comes to creating laws and things like that. I know they got to go by the federal government as far as what the ultimate, but I would like it to be consistent across all 50 states. Either each and every state have the death penalty or abolish it completely. I mean, that's.
Like, what are some benefits to the death penalty?
I think the only true benefit, that's a tough question, but I think one of the I guess, when you're the family of the victim, that their life was taken from them, premeditatedly taken from them, or you know what I'm saying, that was in most cases, when you're dealing with the death penalty, it's usually some heinous crime against society and against individuals that it's usually more than one, or it's multiple and things like that. So I think in that aspect of it, for the family of the victims, I think it gives them maybe like a peace of mind, or a little sense of, okay, justice has been served. You know, they took that individual that in a court of law through our justice system has been found guilty of perpetrating this crime, and I think that gives them maybe a little sense of justice, that this person will never be able to harm anybody else, and no other family will ever have to deal with the pain that we're dealing with now. So.
Do you believe in the concept of like an eye for an eye? Because that was like when we interviewed people and even officers, they believed in the idea of eye for an eye. Or do you just think? some cases?
There again, I like to look at, I don't like to just jump and react and have a snap decision to, you know, say, so-and-so did something to me, so in fact, I gotta do that to them to repay that. I like to collect all of it. It'd be no different than even something minor. Take, for instance, I'm trying to think of a case that would, with anything that I deal with, any type of crimes that I deal with, like I said, I want to be sure in my own mind, because I would much rather let someone go or not charge somebody for a particular crime than to charge somebody and after the fact find out that, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 years down the road that in fact that person didn't commit the crime.
But is that,
I wouldn't be able to
is that
live with
common?
myself.
But do you believe that's common though? Because with our technology, it is almost certain.
I think it's getting, that's what I'm saying.
It's
With,
99%.
yeah, exactly. I think that with the technology and the things that we have at our disposal, I think it's getting, we're pretty locked in as
Yeah.
far as when we got all the facts coupled with all the, you know, the DNA testing and all that stuff that's, you know, come about in the last, you know, 20 years. But there again, as an executive, you hear cases.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you young ladies, but if you were in a position of a prosecuting situation and you prosecuted somebody and you felt like you had all the facts there, and then 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you come to find out new evidence gets brought to light that in fact this person did, and now you got to live with that. You put this person, you would basically incarcerate this person for X amount of years and took away, and they weren't the ones that actually committed the crime.
But like, what if you put them in life in prison and they escape? Like, don't you have to live with the fact that, oh, they escaped, now they can kill other people?
But there again, you can only control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
You did your job, you did what you had to do as a prosecutor, you prosecuted them for their crime, and then as a result of that, they were sentenced and they're convicted and sentenced, and now they're doing time in the state penitentiary. You can't control when they escape from that, you know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, if they get apprehended as a result of that, after the fact, after they escaped, now you can control, maybe going forward as a prosecutor, getting additional charges and ensuring that this never happens again. So again, I think you can only control what you